Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on a really cool piece of tech that's basically teaching AI how to be the perfect project manager. We're talking about GitHub's AI Concierge. We hear all the time about AI that can write code or, answer questions. But how does an AI go from just talking about a task to actually doing it? Like opening a pull request, managing an issue, or running an operation right there on GitHub? Well, it turns out there's a pretty big gap between making a request and seeing a real-world action happen. And that gap exists because, well, at their core, large language models and these huge complex platforms like GitHub, they just don't speak the same language. The AI knows what it wants to do, but GitHub has all these specific rules and endpoints and protocols. You can't just tell it what to do. You need a translator. To make this super clear, let's use an analogy. Just imagine that the AI agent is a VIP guest, and the entire GitHub platform is this massive, sprawling, grand hotel. Now, this VIP guest has some pretty important things to do. They're not just going to sit in the lobby, right? They want to manage entire floors of the hotel, which for us means things like managing repositories, automating issues, running complex operations, and even analyzing the very architecture of the building itself. But here's the catch. This VIP is basically in a foreign country. They don't know the layout of the hotel, they can't read any of the signs, and they definitely don't know which key is supposed to open which door. They've got a goal, but absolutely no way to get it done on their own. And this is where our main character steps in, the GitHub Model Context Protocol Server, or MCP server for short. You gotta think of it as the hotel's ultimate concierge. This concierge is a master of the hotel's inner workings, speaks the VIP's language fluently, and can make literally anything happen. So how does a master concierge like this get ready for work? It doesn't just, show up and hope for the best. It has a very specific, structured routine to make sure everything runs perfectly. And that routine actually mirrors the server's own startup lifecycle. So every single morning, our concierge first reads the hotel's rulebook. That's the server parsing its configuration. Next, it gets its security pass and key card, which tells it exactly where it's allowed to go. That's it fetching token scopes for permissions. And then finally, it flips the sign to open, officially starting the server instance and getting the front desk ready for any and all requests. Okay, so how does the concierge actually get all this stuff done? Well, it doesn't have one single master key. Instead, it carries around this whole ring of specialized keys, and each one is designed for a completely different part of the hotel. And this is a really crucial point. A simple key might get you into a guest room, sure, but you're going to need a different one for the kitchen, and another one for the archives, and maybe even a special one for the penthouse suite. Different tasks need different tools. It's as simple as that. So the concierge mainly uses three types of keys. You've got the REST API client. That's the workhorse, the key for most common everyday tasks. Then there's the GraphQL API client. That's for when the VIP has a really specific, complex question and needs a precise answer without a bunch of extra fluff. And finally, the raw content client. That's like a key to the hotel library, letting it read files directly. Okay, so the concierge has its keys, but how does it even know about all the services the hotel can offer? Well, it consults its official catalog of services, or what the server calls its tool inventory. So what exactly is a tool here? We're not talking about a physical object. In this system, a tool is a single authorized action. Think of it as one specific entry in that service catalog, like room service, create a new issue, or valet, merge a pull request. Each one is its own distinct capability. And this isn't some static, printed booklet that gets outdated. No way. This catalog is digital and totally dynamic. New services can be added anytime, and crucially, the concierge only shows the VIP the services they actually have permission to use. It can even handle old, outdated requests and has a super smart search function to find the perfect service for any request, like instantly. So far, everything's gone pretty smoothly. But what happens when things go wrong? Because they always do, right? This is where a truly good concierge proves their worth. It's all about professionalism under pressure. So imagine this. The VIP asks to go into a room, but the key just doesn't work. The door is locked when it should be open. In the real world, an API call fails. This is a real moment of truth for the system. Does it just panic? Nope, it doesn't panic. The system is designed for exactly this situation. As the source material puts it, it uses a structured approach. It doesn't just throw up its hands and say it's broken. It has a clear, consistent protocol for handling and reporting any problem that comes up. And here's that protocol. First, it captures the error. It notes down exactly which door, which key, and what time the failure happened. Second, it reports this information back to the AI using a standard, really easy to understand format. And maybe most importantly, it maintains stability. It makes sure that one locked door doesn't cause the entire hotel to just shut down. So, the whole point here is this. This structured error handling isn't just about being tidy. It is the absolute foundation of reliability. It means that the AI agent can trust the concierge because even failures are handled in a way that's predictable and stable. And at the end of the day, that reliability is the ultimate goal. For a system like this to be truly useful, it has to be available and dependable, always aiming for the highest possible uptime. And that level of reliability, it's simply impossible without a professional, robust way to handle the unexpected. So, if we step back from our hotel analogy for a second, it should be pretty clear by now that this MCP server, well, it's doing a whole lot more than just translating "please create an issue" into a line of code. And this is why it all matters so much. This system effectively gives an AI agent a seat at the table. It makes AI a first-class citizen on GitHub. It's the secure, efficient, and permission-aware foundation that's going to let developers build these incredibly powerful new AI tools that can automate tasks we never even thought were possible. And all of that leaves us with a final, really fascinating question. We've seen the architecture, we get how it works, so what happens next? What kind of new tools and workflows are going to emerge when basically any AI can be equipped with its own expert GitHub concierge? The possibilities? Well, they're really just beginning to unfold.